Hi guys, Captain Devil here, and in this video I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on the new game mode, Fracture. The aim of Fracture is to kill your enemies, which will then drop a core file, which are the brightly coloured things that fall out of the body. You then have to collect the core file and deliver it to your Fracture point. You can carry as many core files as you want, but once you die, you lose them all and the enemy can deny them, or another teammate can pick them up and then deliver them themselves. It takes about half a second to deliver one core file, so let's say if you have 10 core files on you and you go onto the Fracture point, you have to wait there for a few seconds before they all can deliver. The Fracture point lasts for 1 minute. After the 1 minute is over, it will then rotate to a random location. A quick disclaimer at the beginning of this video: I like Fracture. I think it's a good game mode, it plays well. I just think there are a few issues that stop it from being a great game mode, if that makes sense. So let's start with the bad things, the things I don't like about this game mode. First of all is the points. Currently you get 50 points per kill, 20 points for collecting the core file, and another 50 points for depositing the core file in the Fracture point. Personally, I think this is a little bit too high. I think that the points per kill should be lowered to 25, because I find it a tiny bit too easy to gain score streaks. And in this game mode, something like a Sentry Gun or Cerberus or maybe even a Guardian can really lock down the whole Fracture point area for the entire 1 minute, and that entire 1 minute could change the entire game. So I think if the points per kill were lowered to 25, it would solve this issue and score streaks wouldn't be a make or break factor in this game mode. One annoying issue with the points is somehow I keep ending up needing 5 points for my next score streak, which is very annoying when you die 5 points off a Cerberus. My second issue, which is probably the biggest issue, would be how long the game lasts. Some games last about 7 to 8 minutes, which is perfect for Call of Duty, but the majority of the games that I played only lasted about 5 minutes. So right now the score limit is 60, and I feel that it should be increased to 80 or maybe even 100. This would solve the issue and the whole game would last a lot longer, and it would just be more enjoyable overall. The third issue I have with this is the way that it's played. I understand that this game mode is going to play similar to Hardpoint, but I find that once the Fracture point has been created, that the entire team, whether it be your team or the enemy team, just camps at that location. And I understand that that's the best way to play it, but I find that it creates a very one-sided game, where if one team can lock down the Fracture point for the entire 1 minute, they have a very big advantage going into the rest of the game, especially if they manage to get 2 or 3 where they lock down this whole area, which honestly isn't that difficult. My main issue with this is I don't really know how to fix it. I suppose you could lower the rotation time or the Fracture point time to about 45 seconds, which I guess would kind of get rid of the issue a little bit, but I don't really know what you could change to fix this issue. The final negative issue I'm going to bring up, which in some people's eyes could be considered a positive, is the fact that specialist weapons don't play as much of a role as I feel they should. Specialist abilities, they can be used in any situation, they're fine, but things like long-ranged weapons like the Annihilator or the Tempest or something like that, they don't play as much of a role. I mean, in this gameplay, I was running the Tempest, and I don't think there are any situations where the Tempest would have helped me out over my gun. Like I said, specialist abilities, they work in any situation, and there are some specialist weapons that will work really well. Something like Hive, for example, that will lock down the entire Fracture area, or the Ripper. I mean, the Ripper can be used in any game mode at any point, so it's just the other longer range weapons I feel could contribute a little bit more, because they're such an iconic feature in this game that for them to be almost redundant in this one game mode feels like an issue to me. Now I'm going to move on to the positives, the things I like about this game mode. The biggest thing I like about this game mode is the random rotations. If this game mode was like Hardpoint, where the objective area is set so that you can predict and that you can use to your advantage, then I feel that the issue I brought up about the camping would be a lot bigger and almost game breaking. So the fact that the Fracture point rotates to a random location really changes the flow of the game and makes it a lot more enjoyable. The second thing is kinda controversial. For solo players, I can understand that a lot of you have an issue. I mean, I used to play solo quite a bit and I stopped for this issue, is teams. Obviously, loads of other YouTubers have talked about this, so I'm not going to go into much detail, but I find that if you play solo and you're one of the better, if not the best person in the lobby, according to your stats, then you're going to get paired with the worst of the worst in that lobby, which causes the game to be almost unwinnable for your team. Whereas in Fracture, I feel that if you're playing solo and you're put with an awful team, you at least still have a chance. I don't really know why this happens, but it's definitely a great thing for a lot of the solo players that are stuck playing solo for whatever reason. You can go into this game mode and at least have a chance of not being completely let down by your teammates. The next thing I like about this is kind of weird, it's just how satisfying it is. I think it was near the end of this gameplay where I killed someone, collected about 10 core files, and then deposited them all straight away, and my score was just full of words and points, and it's so satisfying to collect all of that and know that you contributed so much into the game that it actually lagged just after I deposited it. It was like one little skip, so it's quite satisfying when you see all of the core files pop out and all this sort of stuff. I mean, this could be like, just because it's new, I could be kind of going through a mini honeymoon stage, but it's just very satisfying when you collect and deposit loads of core files all in one go. Another thing I like about this game mode is the fact that it seems like it can work on any map. I don't know whether it's because the fracture point is so small that it can be put in any location on the map, but I feel that there isn't just a singular map or a set of maps that it's just absolutely terrible at, which is really good, because, you know, a lot of maps get left out. I mean, Evac, for example. When was the last time you played Evac? Whereas I played Evac Fracture for my very first game, and it worked. I liked it. So this is definitely a very good thing, knowing that every map on the game, in my experience, works well with this game mode. But that's going to wrap it up for my review on the new game mode Fracture. Let me know in the comments what you like about this. Do you like it? Do you hate it? What about it do you like that I missed? What about it do you dislike that I missed? I'm really interested to know what you think about it. If you like this video, let me know by leaving a like, subscribe for more, and thanks for watching.